Welcome to Artwork, Art Home, Art Stories, and Art Education. In this video, I am providing explanation about painters and paintings. Today, we will talk about Paul Gustav Fischer. Paul Gustav Fischer, 1860 to 1934, was a Danish painter renowned for his vivid depiction of urban life and landscapes, especially those capturing the essence. Copenhagen, born into a Jewish family in Copenhagen on 22 July 1860. Fischer's early exposure to art was shaped by his father's work as a painter and photographer. This early environment steeped in visual creativity set as the stage for Fischer to become one of Denmark's most prominent painters of his time. Fischer's family background played a pivotal role in his artistic development. His father, Philip August Fischer, was an artist himself, thought primarily a commercial photographer, while the family's roots were modest. Fischer was surrounded by artistic influence from a young age. He started painting as a teenager, with some of his earliest works dating back to when he was just 16. Although Fischer briefly attended the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts, his formal education was short lived and he is mostly considered a self taught artist. His true education came from observing the world around him and learning through practice and exploration. Fischer's early work were mainly inspired by the Danish realist tradition, a movement that sought to capture the everyday life and character of the people, primarily focusing on urban setting. He was heavily influenced by his contemporaries and the broader European trends of the time, including Impressionism, which emphasized light and atmosphere over detail. Fischer's travel, particularly to Paris and Germany, exposed him to this modern art movement, and his work began to evolve as he incorporated aspects of French Impressionism and German Realism into his own style. His paintings from the 1880s often depicted scenes of daily life in Copenhagen, street scenes, marketplaces, parks, and the hustle and bustle of the city were frequent subject of his work. Fisher became known for his ability to capture the light and atmosphere of Copenhagen in all seasons, especially winter, where his paintings would often show snow covered streets and people going about their daily activities. His keen observation of light, weather condition, and social interactions gave his work an intimate and realistic quality. What set Fischer's apart from many of his contemporaries was his attention to the urban landscapes, while many Danish artists focused on rural or coastal scenes. Fischer's captured the vibrancy of Copenhagen streets. His cityscapes were not just static, representations of buildings and streets but were filled with life. Pedestrians, carriages, and street vendors. His paintings also explored social intrication, often showing figures engaged in conversation or simply moving through the city. Winter scenes, in particular, become a hallmark of Fischer's. However, he had a remarkable ability to depict the cold, crisp atmosphere of a Danish winter. With muted colors and snow laden streets, his work often had a melancholic yet peaceful tone, capturing both the beauty and isolation of urban life. Although Fischer's is primarily remembered for his urban scenes, he also painted landscapes, portraits, and interiors. His landscape work, particularly those depicting the Danish countryside, reflected his love for his homeland, thought the were often less celebrated than his city scenes. Paul Gustav Fischer's work were widely appreciated during his lifetime. His depiction of Copenhagen are considered some of the finest representation of Danish urban life in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His ability to bring life to everyday scenes resonated with viewers and critics alike, earning him widespread acclaim across Europe. He participated in exhibitions in Paris, Berlin, and Munich, and his work were collected by art lovers both in Denmark and abroad. Fischer's style evolved over time, particularly during his later years when he began experimenting more with light and color, moving away from the darker tone of his earlier works. However, he remained true to his core subjects, urban scenes, particularly those of Copenhagen. After his death in 1934, Fischer's work continued to be celebrated, though his reputation waned somewhat in the years following his passing. In recent decades, however, there has been a resurgence of interest in his work. Today, Paul Gustav Fischer, regarded as one of Denmark's most important painters of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, his works provide a fascinating window into the everyday life of Copenhagen during a time of great social and technological change. Through his vivid and emotive cityscapes, Fischer captured the spirit of the Danish capital, ensuring that his artistic legacy would endure for generations. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe my channel and share my video.